So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Ratai. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fellow will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
Why did they move your captain to the chapel? All that way up?
So he'd be closer to God. Either the good Lord will help him, or take him to his bosom. The captain's in a really bad way. And our Sawbones is away with Lord von Bergov.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. Do you always ring the bells before an execution?
Aye, it's a local custom. They say back in the past, the local lord slept through a scheduled execution, and they had to release the condemned man. Don't worry, that won't happen today.
What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job, and when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What'd you expect? The axe? Lord von Bergov is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it.
How's your husband? Is he better?
He's over the worst, thank God.
Good to hear. He looked like he had one foot in the grave not long ago.
Aye, but now it's like he's been left off the leash.
Got his appetite back, has he?
And how? Meatloaf, trotters, sausage. Soon there won't be a pig left alive for miles.
Be glad he's on his food again.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty girls for my liking, though. It's a lot better here in Trotsky.
Let's hope the bride doesn't hear you. She might take offense.
I wasn't talking about her, of course. The bride's always the prettiest.
I've been at weddings where that wasn't the case, unfortunately. But I heard it ended in a brawl.
Aye, some idiots had a punch-up. It's practically a tradition, you know?
A pretty stupid tradition. The poor newlyweds. It's supposed to be a celebration and some numbskulls start fighting.
You're right.
And Lord von Bergov didn't show up.
No, he didn't.
If there's anyone who's in the know
Good
about
day.
the troubles going on in the county, it's me, ain't it?
Well, I ain't so sure about that when I hear what you're saying.
Leave it alone, would you? I suppose it's worse than it was, but you make the end of the world out of it.
You're not allowed in here, vagabond. If you want a bite to eat, go to the kitchen. Leave me alone. I've no time for chat.
Do you know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas. I had him moved during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance.
Naturally. It's certainly good of you to want to pray for Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff, and Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. I'll be going then.
Go, and don't forget about that prayer. Till we meet again.
Hasn't got it easy. He's got all sorts of worries. Sir Otto travels a lot, so he's got to do a lot of stuff on his behalf.
Whatever worries he has, if a fella treats folks like dirt, it ain't no wonder they get upset.
He might not be so hard on folk if they tried a little harder, though. You know, Master Ulrich is tortured with ulcers and fits. Why do you think? It's from all those worries he has.
Oh, how do you know that?
Sometimes he invites me for a drop of wine and a bite to eat.
Aha! So it's true what the laundresses say then, that you go and report on them to the Chamberlain.
I wouldn't put it that way. Nothing escapes my eye, and Ulrich knows that. So he sometimes invites me for a chat about what's going on.
Call it what you like. Nobody likes...
Good day.
Excuse me. No, he didn't. I expect only old Samin was a bit... I expect only old Samin was a bit peeved, since he couldn't show off to him. At least everyone else could relax and be merry.
From what I hear, some of them got a little too merry. Eh?
Raised the hair on the back of my neck.
And he didn't notice you standing there.
No, but then I clear my throat and he straightens up, looks at me, mumbles something and turns and goes.
And Lord von Berghoff didn't show up.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I expect only old Samin was a bit peeved, since he couldn't show off to him. At least everyone else could relax and be merry.
From what I hear, some of them got a little too merry. Eh?
That's that. I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
How should I know? They told me to think up some job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman here, understand?
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith, a respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my fingers to the bone all the time. I'll tell you what, go to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom, always bothering me that he don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship's away with his men.
All right. How many should I make?
How many legs does a horse have?
Well, it depends. Usually 4, but once there was a 3-legged foal born in our village.
All right. You're a fool, but maybe you're a handy one. So go and make one horseshoe for the groom, all right?
But a horse has 4.
Aye, but Kabat's missing just one, and I ain't going to waste more on him.
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads, this here itinerant is my new helper. Let him through.
Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith? Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith?
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing here grumbling?
Because of that damn blacksmith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? He always takes this bit of wire and opens the chest for me, and then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
But the blacksmith is just around the corner.
I know he is, only he tells me to wait, that he's got more important things to do.
Seems to me he's just talking.
I wouldn't be surprised, the lazy wretch. But what can I do? I'm just a loudmouth cook, so I have to wait.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
I know how to do it, but first I have to get tools for it.
All right, I'll wait here. Another while won't kill me.
Guard,
Must you interrupt me at my prayers? If it's arms you want, go to the kitchen.
sorry to bother you, but I heard you praying. I need to get to your captain.
You know Thomas? Where from?
Well, that's a really long story, but I heard what happened to him, and I need to talk to him.
Talk? What do you expect to hear from him? But it's all the same. Thomas is lying in a fever upstairs in the Maiden. It don't look good for him. Them bastards cut him up good, the poor fella. And if that wasn't enough, they stole his rosary too. Barbarians.
What exactly is wrong with Thomas?
He was badly wounded in a fight. It looked for a while like he wouldn't live to see the dawn, but he got a bit better. Only a few days ago he caught a fever and the Sawbones is away with Lord von Burgo. And that fever ain't letting up.
And the Maiden Tower, which one is that?
You're in Trotsky for the first time, eh? It's that narrow, higher one on the eastern side. We call the second one the Crone. There's some legend about it, but to tell the truth, it never much interested me.
I'll be going. I'll pray for Thomas.
Thanks.
If you're after some leftovers, the kitchen's up top. I don't think there's much there, though. And not a step further than the kitchen.
The second toll for Hans.
If anything goes missing there, I'll be after you.
God be with you.
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
No. You told me to bring it and show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables. The grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I can't wait. Fanka the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open the spice chest.
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
She told me you always open it with some implement. I'll gladly do it if you tell me where to find one.
Jesus, why do you even talk to that woman?
I'm supposed to help out around here.
What of it? I already let you into the forge anyway. There's this small red pot on a shelf there with some lockpicks in it. but I don't suppose you know how to use one.
As it happens, I do.
I'd rather not ask where you learned. Although you just got out of jail, though, eh? Just don't get up to any funny business with them.
Sure. Do you know how I can get up to the chapel?
You can't. Only his lordship and his family go there. And of course, Father Nicodemus. Usually, that is. Only now, Captain Thomas is lying there. He's at death's door. God save him.
I understand. So I got what I needed, and we can get to it. Where's that chest?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship will be back any time.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed there. I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the rue in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising to fix it. But no. After all, I'm just a stupid cook fanker who's always nagging and won't leave anyone in peace. But if I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this godforsaken castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning. The lazy bones. Pfui! Here it is, that damn chest. 3 years I've been telling him. God's truth. Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
All right.
The third toll. I better get moving.
How am I to make that gingerbread? I'll bet it was that ninny Dorker who took it. Why do I even bother?
Farewell, my friend.
What did I do to deserve this? Oh! And don't forget to light the fire in the main hall. It's as cold there as a dungeon. And that...
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! Ah! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go snooping around where you shouldn't.
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Species de cipit, sir. Looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore of Seville, the writings of Abbess Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, I'll examine you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh. And these attacks, have you noticed whether something sets them off?
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Did you get advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised me.
Yes? What?
It's a little awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about Jupiter and the houses, and then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow here below the castle, naked.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
I understand. Tell me, sir, what about your, let's say nighttime activities?
Well, I'm not married, if you're asking about that.
But that's no obstacle, is it? Although the Holy Scriptures call on us to be chaste, even a saint can sometimes sin.
Not I. I never managed to find the right woman who would, how shall I put it, who would be a good counterpart for me and yet not provoke outrage.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Actually, neither am I.
With your permission, I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Don't worry, I'll just have a look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. Do you have ringing in your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. I believe your stomach juices are out of balance, sir.
That's what the professor from Kolin said. But what to do about it?
Well, unfortunately, I can't change the causes of your condition, but I can help you with its symptoms. I think some herbal potion for the stomach would bring you relief.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required remedy, but I could brew it. Only I don't have the apparatus for that. And also, I could use some medical literature.
Don't worry about that. Our surgeon is also often at a loss. I expect you'll find everything you need in his study. It's upstairs in the crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to stay only in the outer courtyard. I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. Besides caring for your mortal coil, the well-being of your soul shouldn't be neglected, sir.
What do you mean by that?
I think I could pray for your health. A word to angels to ask for their intercession can work miracles. The greatest Christian physicians recommend healing in both the material and spiritual world. And you have a very nice chapel here.
Father Nicodemus takes care of that. What I want from you is medicine, not talking to angels. Got it?
Yes. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Ow! Quick! Sir Otto will be... And when that's all done, let the maids get stuck into cleaning, so you don't show me up in front of his lordship. And make sure there's a goose in sauce prepared, and that it's not too sweet like the last time. Ow! God above. Starting up again.
I expect only old Samin was a bit peeved.
I brought you those horseshoes. I mean, horseshoe.
That took long enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here. So either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go back to what I was doing before. And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Not quite. I'd also like to know if you've still got any tools.
I might be able to find something, but I'll tell you, it won't come cheap.
Isn't there maybe something I could do for you in exchange?
Well, since you're offering, I lost something playing dice and I'd like to have it back. A very nice turquoise rosary.
Who did you lose it to?
Father Nicodemus. That priest rolls dice like the devil himself was guiding his hand.
Don't worry. I'll get it for you.
But with no trouble, all right?
Naturally.
No, he didn't.
The fourth bell.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
It seems like you'd be glad to have someone to play with.
Alea Yactan honest, my friend. The die has not been cast, and that grieves me. No one wants to play with me, so I'll be quite glad if you join me. And for what shall we play? You don't look too well off.
Hands off the door, all right?
I heard you have a certain turquoise rosary.
Aye, it belonged to Kabat, although belonged is a strong word.
How do you mean?
Kabat is known for having some peculiar things in his property, if you grasp my meaning.
Let's play for it then.
Certainly, why not? As long as you put up a decent wager against it.
Maybe we better leave it for now. I don't have very much coin at the moment.
As you wish, friend. But if you should change your mind, I'll be glad to play.
What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, similar concerns. Come find me when you have atoned for your worldly sins.
Aren't you supposed to be helping out?
Scrub you're after. You'll have to wait. I've been here for ages. And have to go on duty too. If they left at least a crust of bread.
Let me pass. The Master Chamberlain isn't well, and he sent me to the surgeon's study for medicine.
All right then, but nothing better go missing there.
Don't worry. I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here, or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can try and find something for you.
Haven't you got anything better to do?
Not really. Besides, I'm quite hungry myself.
Go and look then. There's some baths down below. There might be something there. I'd go myself, but if someone saw me there, I'd be in trouble. Ever since... well, never mind.
I'll figure it out somehow. Why don't you go to the other kitchen? They're cooking there.
Are you daft? That's the noble's kitchen. We get our food here.
I'll be going then.
Go. And if you meet the cook, send her here.
The bell's ringing for hands the 5th time. The 6th bell. Half the time is up.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
What's your name?
What's it to you?
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
You know I was locked up? Oh, for such an uncaring girl, your interest is a bit suspicious.
Right. I spend the whole day following you and the arrogant fool around, spying on you.
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again. You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I need help.
Who doesn't? I still have to clean out all the fireplaces in the Crown. Do you know how many there are?
I don't know or care. I was sent here by the Chamberlain. He wants me to help him with his stomachache.
That slimy toad. If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff, and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you coming here.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference between you and me. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. So, to the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me in there?
Then tough luck. But you can go and have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.